Welcome to the Fantasy Football Clown Show. I'm Ed, along with Justin tonight. We're excited. Week one in the books. Wow, what a week it was. If you guys would do us a real solid and hit that like button, hit the subscribe bell so that you're notified every time we do drop a video, and then comment. Put some comments there. That really helps the algorithms for us. And any questions you put in there, we'll try to answer them as best we can. What we do here each and every week is we try to recap what happened in the Clownhead fantasy leagues so that you kind of have an idea of what goes on. Maybe you're not in each league, so this gives us a kind of a summary of what really happened, and then maybe what is going to happen or some of our observations of what's going on in the Clownhead. So we'll jump right into it, Justin, and we'll start with best ball. This is kind of two leagues that basically end the year, week 17. The top points is who is the champion, and then it goes down from there. Best ball one, Oogie Boogie is in the lead after 1 week, so not the end, not week 17, but off to a great start is Oogie Boogie. Best ball two, Fantasy Clown, that's me. I'm out to a good start, actually 300 points, so pretty excited with where my team actually is there this week. So that's where we have there. Looking at our redraft, Mala Holmes in Clownhead 1, that's got the same settings as the Elite 8 and Clownheads 1 through 5. So excited for her to take be our top scorer there. And then in redraft 3, that's the same as the Big 8 as far as scoring, and that's Zeke 1, 2, 3 that leads the way there. Now, Justin really prompted our best ball with waiver wires and moves and trades. And so this is something that we're really trying out as it's a head-to-head league, but something that we're really taking a look at to see if we can turn into a dynasty league at some point. So more to come on that. But best ball A, which is with these roster moves, enabled, Justin led the way, JDM 1989. With the top score, and then best ball B, Bolt Fam 09 is our leading point getter in that league. So that's kind of how things started, there. We move on to Clownheads 1 through 5, and we'll just run through these real quick, and then our top score getter, we'll kind of take a look at their roster, and Justin will outline some of the things that we noticed about their roster. But Clownhead 1, and we'll come back to Jason Parro at a later point, but he was our top point person, and we'll take a look at his roster coming up for Clownhead 1. Clownhead 2, Dirty Dave Storms. Clownhead 3, JSL 111, who was the champ last year, so off to a great start in Clownhead 3 with the top points there this week. Clownhead 4, Boyce 21. Clownhead 5, Hurricane Zion, off to the lead. And then if we move on to 6 through 9, Clownhead 6, Psalm 3303. Clownhead 7, Ozzy Gringo. Clownhead 8, JDM 1989, off to a good lead. And I noticed we didn't even choose him in first or second place, so he's kind of defying all the odds there, coming out with a strong showing. And then Clownhead 9, King AR is our leading point person there as well. And so we'll take a look at his roster, coming up here very soon in the show. When we look to the Big 8, we have Division S, we have Zeke 1, 2, 3, Division T, Noisy Silence, Division U, K, Crawl KU, Division V, Brick 7, Division W, JGL Reed, and that was our top points person in the Big 8. Division X, Titan Chaps. Division Y, Slippy Nanner. Division Z, Mario 19. Moving on to the Elite 8, this is the second year of the Elite 8, and we have Division A, the Wolfpack. Division B, Seaballs 585. Division C, Team Potson. Division D, ZBM 7. Division E, Danny Nichols. Division F, Turkleton. Division G, Miley R0568. And Division H, Cowboys and Oots, who is the leading points person and also our defending champion. So kind of off to a real big start after winning the whole thing last year. So kind of if you're looking for somebody to take down the Empire money. This looks like he's off to a great start, Justin. I mean, I guess I thought he had a good team, but I'll be anxious to hear your breakdown of his team as we take a look at it for sure. But geez, what do you think by just hearing Cowboys and Utes off to the fast start again?
Well, with this team, it's relatively really sound with the two of the probably highest scoring, in my opinion, with Patrick Mahomes and Tua. With Tua having two top five and probably top 8 receivers for a score, he'd easily go off for 500 yards a week if he can connect and get everyone on the same page. He looked fairly unfazed from last year with his concussion issues. He had Najee Harris, which he didn't really have a good week. Aaron Jones, oh man, Aaron Jones is defying the age, in my opinion, being able to do what he's continually doing. He has also CD Lamb, in which the Cowboys didn't really need their offense this past week, so they really destroyed the New York Giants with their defense this week. Tyreek Hill, 215 yards and 2 touchdowns, I think it was. Had a big week. Amari Cooper, subpar week for him. And same with Chris Godwin. Excuse me. Of course, he had TJ Hawkinson, which I really like, even though he got paid last year, looking like he's still came out the form. Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee's security blanket, in my opinion, for Sam Bradford. And George Kittle. George Kittle didn't have too big of a week, but he did fairly decent. But he also has J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins tore his his Achilles this past week, so he's going to have to figure out what he's going to put in there with for a starting lineup. Looks like he has Zach Moss on his bench, and looks like Zach Moss is going to be ready to go this week. He also has Zeke Elliott, which didn't get too much run. Evan Hall, which he just went on IR. Alec Pierce, Mike Wilson, Darnell Mooney. That's another guy you can plug in and keep on going. Looks like he has Cole Turner, Kashawn Boyd, which he had a relatively high snap share in that wide receiver core, even though we didn't catch anything this past week. He also has the rookie Michael Mayer, in which he had relatively silent week. Looks like he also has Jeff Wilson there on his IR, which I can see him definitely coming back sooner rather than later here in a couple of weeks. And just ready to go. I mean, he also has Kadarius Toney. I mean, yeah, Kadarius Toney had quite a few drops this past week, but if he can figure out how to hold on to the ball when he gets it, he can be big in that offense.
Yeah, and I'll jump in there a little bit. I saw Cade Otton on the bench too, and when he's trying to replace J.K. Dobbins, it's really a flex spot that he's trying to replace. So it could be a receiver, it could be, he does have, some running backs for the running back spots when Najee and Aaron Jones have their buys. And he can't really withstand a lot of injuries to maybe running backs, but beyond that, he can, put in Warren or Zeke or Zach Moss in there for, to definitely spell. And then I think guys like Mooney or Michael Wilson or Kadarius Toney or even Cade Otton, who's going to get the 3 points for PPR reception at the tight end position, gives him an effective place to go. And then obviously he can, receivers a little bit light if there's injuries, but definitely with Mooney as the number 5, he can put that in there as a bye week replacement when those guys are on bye. So I guess I feel like, I think it's really poised. It's going to be a tough. I as I'm looking at this, that would be crazy in my mind if we had the same Elite Eight winner back to back. Like, I guess I
Oh yeah.
thought it was going to be hard, and maybe it is, and maybe we're week one and we're too excited about week one. But geez, that's kind of crazy. It comes out of the gate and just like says, I had the most points last year at the end of the year, and now I have the most points this year, 9 months later at the beginning of the year. It's kind of crazy, really. It's
absolutely buckle up and let's see what he can do.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Okay, Big Eight. This is something to look at. Our brand new, newest league, and this is J.R. Reed is our top points person in this league, and I guess I'm noticing our top point people. Look, geez, Tua and Tyreek, both of them just right out of the pickle boat. So I'll let you take it away, Justin.
Yeah, with him, he started off with Tua, Nick Chubb, Chubb Dub. One of my favorite running backs in the league. He's getting a little longer in the tooth there. Tyreek Hill, of course, Mike Williams. He had relatively, in my opinion, a quieter week to be expected at the beginning of the season. Looks like Gerald Everett, which is another one of my favorites. Derrick Henry, Henry. Oh, man. It keeps defying the age again. I mean, over 100 yards in this last game. Deebo Samuel on his flex. Dalvin Cook. It's like Jamal Williams, David Montgomery. I mean, Christian Kirk and the other super flex, and Jimmy G. Jimmy G was top 12 in scoring this past week. When was the last time he was top 12 in scoring? I can't even remember. And he also has Hendon Hooker there on his bench for if Goff goes down, to see if he can come back sooner rather than later. Eric Gray, Jerick McKinnon, which Jerick McKinnon, he can go off for 30, 40 points in a given week. Cordell Patterson, Devontae Foreman, Melvin Jones, Ray McLeod, Robert Woods, DeAndre Carter, which he's relatively quiet. Zay Jones had a really good week this past week for Jacksonville. It seemed like he was kind of like number two. Christian Kirk seemed to be not been able to get on the field this last week, especially in 3 wide receiver sets. Jake Bobo. I noticed a lot of people have been kind of picking him up, kind of stashing him away there for Seattle. CJ Usmanjala for New York. Robert Tonyan for Chicago there. And, of course, Cooper Kupp sitting on the bench. Got 3 weeks with him on the bench. We'll see if he can see if he can come back from that hamstring. Rashid Rice on his taxi. See Chris Brown and Dwayne McBride there as well. Fairly decent team, a little light, not so much depth. But we'll see if he can continue on with this hot streak that he's started off with here at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it looks like most guys here, I mean, beyond Tua and Tyreek, were actually underperforming their projections. So he does have some room to kind of to grow. But I feel like he's got starters and scrubs. Like after the starters, he's got Jerick McKinnon. But beyond that, there doesn't seem to be much else that can. I mean, Zay Jones and Robert Woods was big part of the offense, but it doesn't feel like Uzoma or Tonyan are going to get enough burn to be able to be kind of extra tight ends, to fill in for Everett. Like just he's got some running backs, but I feel like Jamal Williams will be phased out as the year goes on, and Dalvin Cook will be phased out as the year goes on, and Derrick Henry actually got out snapped by Tajay Spears last week, 34 to
Yeah.
30. So just a side note there, as well as Derrick Henry did, it seems like, based on other things that are outside of his performance, meaning that if Ryan Tannehill plays poorly, that could be the end of Derrick Henry performing, only because they just decide, hey, let's start a youth movement here. And no, that could mean that Derrick Henry gets traded like Christian McCaffrey last year. So I guess I think that's an open, it's not like I think you should be hitting the panic button and selling Derrick Henry. I just think that beware, if you're looking to make a move to win, maybe, that he might not be a winning player week 17, 16, 15.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where I'm thinking we are. Taking a look, Clownheads 1, and this is for Clownheads 1 through 5. We have Jason Parro that led the way, and he was a champion last year in some of our leagues. There you go. Take it away, Justin. What do you see on this team?
Oh, Justin Fields had a relatively quiet week, I thought, compared to how he finished last year. Of course, Jimmy G creeping in the top 12 first week of the season here. Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Jamar Chase. Oh, man, that hurt me in so many leagues myself. He can way underperform. Tyreek Hill helped make up for that. Terry McLaurin, another guy kind of really underperformed for him. But with having Brandon Ayuk there, Brandon Ayuk and Tyreek Hill pretty much carried this team, in my opinion. With TJ Hawkinson had a very nice week. Dawson Knox started off kind of quiet in the game Monday night, and was finally starting to get some balls thrown his way. Miles Sanders, another good guy, another good running back there. Mitchell for San Francisco running back there. Quiet day because of, they really need him. There, Nick Foles, Case Keenum, a couple scrubs at backup quarterback there. Mac Jones, 34.89 points this last week. Outperformed both of
What was
his.
Mac Jones' quarterback ranking of the week? Was he quarterback what? Do you know offhand?
It would have to be at least 8, if not a little higher.
Yeah, I thought he had a kind of out of this world type of performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see where he was ranked this week, but he has Melvin Gordon there. Melvin Gordon's going to be brought up from the practice squad because of J.K. Dobbins, Jerick McKenzie there. Another running back. We'll see if he can maybe finally get on the field. Kareem Hunt, another guy there. Let's see, Dante Hillard, another guy from Tennessee. With Spears and Henry there, it's not likely he's going to get on the field anytime soon. Same Greg Reynolds I believe he's on the practice squad there. In Detroit, Zamir Knight, another guy that's not getting any love there anymore. Curtis Samuel, Braxton Berrios, Paris Campbell, Jacoby Myers. Man, 30 points there left on your bench. Think he was a top 8 wide receiver this past week.
He was really good, but you can't sit Terry McLaurin or,
yes, absolutely.
or Jamar Chase instead of him. I know he outscored those two guys, but you can't start him there. So.
Absolutely, it's one of those players that you normally probably wouldn't start. Maybe over Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell. I think I could see that happening next week. For sure.
Yeah. And then it looks like he has. Let's see, Hayden Hurst there had a pretty good week this past week. Looks like he's getting some nice play and chemistry with the new young quarterback there. And A.T. Perry, for some reason he was healthy scrub this past week, but it looks like if Michael Thomas goes down, I can see him definitely taking over that role, but not the type of quality type player that you want are going to get out of him quite yet.
I feel like this team won kind of despite kind of how it managed. And what I mean by that is, like, I feel like the bench is full of free agents. You know, Nick Foles, Trevor Siemian aren't on teams. J.D. McKissick, Hunt, Hilliard, aren't on teams. And now when you start using your bench spots, I feel like they're really valuable. When you start to look down here, you have four guys that aren't, that you don't use four taxi spots. There's a bench spot open. You can easily put some of these out guys on the IR if you want to hold them. So there's a couple ways that you could actually add players to this and kind of, if for no other reason, keep them away from your opponents, right? Like if they're on your bench, they're not in the opponent's lineups. And you can take risks with, when I say that, calculated risks that are free and really get players. So I guess I feel like that's a way to play this, maybe even solidify winning. Like, I think it's all dependent upon these 12 guys that are in the starting lineup. If they go down, there is Jacoby Myers there extra, and there is Curtis Samuel. But beyond that, you need luck to happen. I guess Hayden Hurst. But beyond that, you need luck on those three guys. And really, one of those guys can go in for Eli Mitchell. And so then you're really pigeonholed to nobody can get hurt in this team, or it just goes down, fast. So I think that's where that is. Looking at Clownhead 9, and this team just edged out your team in Clownhead 8 with the total points, and that's King AR. He must have pulled his quarterback out already, but I'll let you kind of go through that and tell us about this team.
Christian McCaffrey there is another older guy that's doing amazing work still. Justin Jefferson, my favorite player. I don't want to get that out too much. Hopefully not many people read back on that. Let's see, Stephon Diggs, and he got peppered in that game. I don't know if he finally was able to sit down with the coach and Josh Allen and say, hey, guys, get me the ball. I'm the best player on the team. And so they did last night. Evan Ingram had a very good week. Derrick Henry. Devontae Adams was actually quite under. I felt underwhelmed watching him play this past week. Tony Pollard had a great week. Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, D-Hop. I mean, he seemed like the old D-Hop. But with being there in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill, just wasn't able to move the ball. Ryan Tannehill, threw 3 interceptions that game. You had Jerick McKinnon in the starting lineup, Adam Thielen, a couple of older guys, not very good in my opinion. Matt Stafford looks like his only quarterback right now. His only quarterback. And it looked like he had Michael Carter, Noah Brown, Ray McLeod. This team looks like it has Rob Woods. This team is going to have some trouble. Yeah, he had a very good week. It's not deep at any particular position really at all. But outside of his starting lineup, he's going to have a relatively tough road, especially when the bye weeks come up and injuries come up, and he's going to start losing games here pretty soon.
And you even see with guys like McKinnon having the 3-point week, he has nowhere to go. Now, luckily, it looks like after week 1, he escaped injury-free for these starting lineups. But as you know, you can get hammered. You get a week where 4 of these guys in the starting lineup get hurt, and then he's gonna be saying, now what do I do? And the roster isn't full. So, 5 taxi squad positions here that are not being used. The out players aren't being put on an IR, so it's gonna get really cumbersome. But this week because if you look here, Jefferson, Diggs, and McCaffrey played out of their mind, right? So he's got three guys that played out of their mind, and really Stafford played pretty good football, in his as a quarterback. So, I mean, I guess I don't think that all four of those guys are going to always play, and include Ingram in there. Like they're not always going to play that good. Like I think all of them, and that's what led to this, championship run. I think today or this week, but guess I think if I were you, I'd like your chances in Clownhead 8 of beating him out point wise in this kind of a format. And I guess I'm kind of comparing it. Like I played in that best ball with exactly the same scoring, and now remember I didn't have to make a decision on my starting lineup, so I got the kind of the benefit of the computer putting in my best starters. But I scored over 300 points this week in there. Like it was that dynamic of points out there, available, so to speak. So I guess I feel like, once we get going in the bye weeks, it's going to be the depth that's going to really be king and going to really, present the situation. And so, just kind of want to go through that. But transitioning, and that's kind of all the things happening around the Clownhead community in our fantasy leagues. But what we also do with our Clownhead group really is maybe some of the fun that you and I have is playing DraftKings, right? And so real excited for week 1 of DraftKings for sure, and going to let you kind of break it all down for us. But as it comes up here on the screen, we have a group that plays in a tournament style, $10 to enter. And the champion this week was you with a 147.90. And so you guys that have been with us for a year know that we always outline these teams. And so kind of just going to get your feedback on how you built the championship team in week 1. And yeah, go through it, Justin. How did you build it? Who was on your team? And
well, I started off with David Carr. I figured David Carr was going to have a bigger week against the Tennessee Titan defense there, and I joined him up with Chris Olave. Chris Olave had a really, really good week this past week. And then I had Travis Etienne, Brian Robinson. I figured that game was going to get out of control quick, and they're just going to pound the ball with Brian Robinson there. Of course, had Justin Jefferson, JJ the Jet playing. They in my starting lineup here, and I decided to go with Christian Kirk as my third wide receiver. I figured he was going to have much bigger role, at least his first week. But he did not. He ended up with 1.9 points. And then I had Gerald Everett, who was cheap for my tight end position, only gave me 4.3. But in my flex, I got fairly lucky, I think, maybe not knowing how the San Francisco offense was going to roll. But I had Brandon Ayuk there, 35.9 points, outperformed every other person on my lineup there. With the and then in defense for the this setup here, I went the loss. The Raiders really cheap. They were really cheap again this week, but they only gave me 3 points. I thought they were just going to steamroll Denver. Of course, I don't like a single player on Denver, so I figured why not go with them.
So I guess did it have to do with that we bet on Denver, and I was kind of thinking about that sometimes. You said that Justin Fields, didn't had a down game, and I was just kind of thinking as you were saying that we hit on this over prop, so I'm like, okay, at least we had a good game with him. But yeah, I guess, how did you feel like, did you feel like because we bet on Denver that you needed to kind of play or bet on the Raiders that you wanted to play their defense, or?
I figure Russell Wilson was going to continually having trouble moving the ball, just like he did last year, and I guess their defense was able to keep each other in check. With the Raiders barely getting away with that win there. I think we had a 4.5 point. It was negative minus 4.5 for the Raiders in our bet, and I thought they were going to easily cover that, which it showed that they didn't.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm looking at my team here. I actually went with a rookie quarterback, Richardson, and I got 21.92 on him. Was that about what you got with Derek Carr, or was that
I
better?
got 18.6 of Derek Carr.
And then I did well with Eckler. So, I mean, I felt like, okay, I had Richardson, Eckler, and I had Ayuk. So I had some big guys, and then I had the Ravens defense. I paid up for them. But then I had dogs that just didn't perform. Alec Pierce, that coupled with Richardson. And I guess that's where Derrick Henry didn't have a Derrick Henry type game. And I was like spending my money on Eckler and Henry, and then actually Josh Jacobs too. So I kind of was like, okay. So I was kind of reading the Raiders defense like you. I'm like, okay, they're just going to run the ball and they're going to play defense, and that's how they're going to win. So you played the defense. I was like, I'm taking Jacobs, and I'm going to try to get that steamroll thing there. And anyway, it was just kind of interesting that I was, 9 points under you, but outside of the money here. So I want to give a shout out to the Cammer. He made money, and the Pac fan, he made money. So a couple people, besides you making money here this week, and so you kind of heard it, Justin. He just bets on guys against guys he doesn't like. He doesn't like anybody on Denver, so he just plays against Denver each week. So
yeah,
now you know where the variance is going to be next week when you join in. The link is in the Discord. So if you want to jump in, $10. It's a tournament style. Week 2, you can jump in and see if you can, beat Justin. I mean, he's the guy taking your money. So if you have a better lineup than him, and I think he just throws the coin in the air, and then that's where he lands and gets the lineup. So if you can't beat that, that's a problem. But apparently we all couldn't beat that, so he won the money. So there we are. Want to give a shout out to the people that went head to head against me. There's an opportunity for 10 people to go head to head against me each week. And as you see here, I had the 138, and Justin used the same lineup against me, and he smoked me. So another Hot Sauce Wally, if he would have entered this lineup in the tournament, that was a winner, apparently, right? Like that would have won the whole thing. So that cost him $30, just in and of itself. So Hot Sauce Wally, you got to get in the tournament, right? That's a win. And then Schaff stole 19. I mean, you can beat me. You may as well go out and get second place in the tournament like that. If both of these guys in, Justin, you're in third place all of a sudden. Just real quick. So they could have. The points were there to beat us, but they just didn't play. So it's kind of like the lottery. If you don't play, you can't win. So there you are. Now I got to do a shout out. There's 4 people that could not measure up to me. So here we are. JGL Reed, just a little bit under me there. Not too much. That's 6 points. That's actually, that's one player. That's 2 catches for 40 yards. I mean, like that's not too much, difference there in variation. And B-ball Jars 5 was just a couple points away, so that's pretty close. Rick Topher, about 6 points away, and then D Guz 27 played against us last year. Remember that name? 16 points away. So real close. Everybody had good weeks, in there. So just want to encourage everybody to, jump in. A lot of fun. You can kind of see those entries, if you will, and all those links are right in the Discord chat. And right near where the best bets are, and there's just a shout out to that. Just went over the $500 given away mark on X, and so all you have to do is retweet the bet of the day, and you get entered into the drawing. And over the last 4 weeks, we've done a daily drawing each day, and whenever it wins, which is about 50% of the time, I'd say, give out some money. And tonight the money is, and I'm sure as this gets posted it'll be already gone, but we're going on I even forget it's a baseball team that starts at 9, so I'm not sure which one it is, but you just have to check out our X, and $500 giving away of free money that we're just sending out to people randomly. So if you want to be part of receiving free money in your Venmo, jump in there. That's always on the Discord as well. A lot of great content on there. Excited for another segment that we're kicking off weekly, where you're going to get to kind of come into a talk ball session with Trader Dan and myself, and where you get to kind of hear kind of our just weekly dialogue that we've had probably for 3 years now of just on game day. Typically it's a Sunday morning conversation that we'll have about the goings on, and then one of the midweek conversations that we'll have. And so we're just going to kind of welcome you into that. So that's coming up as well. And we expect that segment to be published each and every Wednesday, and with an opportunity to put some trades out there, and we'll diagnose those, and also some waiver ads if for your waiver run. So those are things coming up throughout the Clownhead community. And so we're glad to be back, Justin.
Likewise.
Year 2, right? This is pretty exciting. It gets bigger and better each year, and I guess you have a tough task. I see that I beat Brad. I was against him in 2 head-to-heads, and this week it looks like you and I go head-to-head 6 times. This must be how it goes when we have so many leagues together. Now we play head-to-head. So I'm just going to list out these things and tell you who Sleeper thinks is going to win, and then as we wrap up here today. But so Clownhead 3, that's a redraft league. Sleeper has you winning. I'm sorry. I don't know that. You're a 1-0 in that league, and I'm 0-1 in that league. So I guess I need a win, so I'm going to be 0 on that. Clownhead 7, we're both 1-0, so we're going to have one of us get defeated in there, and, we're going to knock one of us to the 1-1 ratio. Clownhead 8, we play each other. You're 1-0, I'm 0-1, so I'm fighting to not go 0-2. So I'm going to be scrapping again there. Clownhead 9 is kind of the exact opposite. I'm 1-0 and you're 0-1. So, that's one where you actually had the leading points from Clownhead 8. So I guess that was, so that's why you had that big win. FB, I don't know. Oh, Family Business. I'm 1-0, you're 0-1. So that's a 10-team league that we're in together. And then Empire, I don't know if that's 1 or 2, but we're in one of the Empire leagues where actually you're the commissioner of. I'm 1-0 and you're 0-1. So those are the 6 that we have head-to-head. So any projections? Are we going to split? We're going to go 3-3? What are we going to do?
I say I know you'll probably beat me in the Family Business and the Empire. So it's probably 0-2 start off the bat for myself, and then split the other 2. So I'll say 3 and
4-2 with Dan and 3-6. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a sweep. I want to go 6-0. Like, I cannot come back here. I need Brad got sick because he went 0-2. So if I go 6-0, I need you to promise me you're going to come back on next week. You're not going to be like, oh no.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Definitely hope that.
I might go 0-6, and if I go 0-6, then we got real problems, and I gotta, So yeah, I might not show up if I go 0-6 if you beat me in all these, but
I'll definitely see.
It's week 2, so you know what? A lot of random things happen. So
Exactly.
But thank you guys all for joining us. Week 1 of the Fantasy Football Clown Show. I'm your host, and along with Justin, I'm Ed, and so long for now.